Rejected for her curves, one night, the cowboy could walk away. Jax Rayner rode his hoverbike through the neon-lit streets of Orbital Hub 12, the frontier station on the edge of human-colonized space. The city floated above a swirling gas giant, its towers reaching into the thin clouds while shuttles zipped between them like fireflies. Jax's boots made a dull thump against the bike's metal platform, his long coat fluttering behind him as he maneuvered around other vehicles. He was a cowboy of the stars, a man used to deserts and lawless towns, but even he found the orbital hub dizzying. The mission was simple in theory but impossible in practice: recover stolen terraforming technology that Earth desperately needed. The corporate overlords who held the tech had grown rich while countless planets suffered from environmental collapse. Jax didn't care much for politics. He cared about survival, freedom, and a good payday. Yet this time, the stakes felt higher. He landed his hoverbike at the edge of a bustling cantina, a popular stop for traders, smugglers, and mercenaries. The smell of fried synthetic meat, metal, and ozone filled the air. Holographic signs flickered in the misty light, advertising everything from zero-gravity dance clubs to illegal AI mods. Jax pushed open the door and stepped inside. The cantina was loud, crowded, and chaotic. Humans from dozens of worlds mingled with aliens, though humans dominated the floor. Card games were in full swing on one side, while on the other, a band of android musicians played a strange, rhythmic tune. Jax's eyes scanned the room, searching for the contact who would guide him to the stolen tech. And then he saw her. Leora leaned against the bar, sketching diagrams on a holographic pad with intense focus. Her hair was pulled back, practical, and her eyes burned with intelligence. Her curves weren't the shape of her body, they were the way she thought, the creativity that flowed in every movement, every calculation she made. She had a reputation among the hub's elite, talented but unconventional, too bold to be trusted by the corporations. Jax approached, careful not to startle her. "You Leora?" he asked. She looked up, eyebrow raised. "Depends who's asking." "Name S. Jax Rayner." "I hear you're the one who can fix impossible problems," she smirked. "I hear a lot of things, and who's paying you to find me, cowboy?" "No one," he said honestly. "I pay in survival. I need your help or this tech stays lost and Earth keeps suffering." Leora studied him. There was something in his eyes, an honesty maybe or sheer stubbornness, that made her pause. She was used to arrogant, smooth talkers and opportunists, but Jax, he seemed different. "Fine," she said finally. "I'm curious, but this doesn't mean I trust you." Jax grinned. "Trust isn't required, just skill." They spoke for a while quietly, leaning against the bar as the cantina buzzed around them. Leora explained the layout of the orbital hub, the corporate stronghold where the tech was kept, and the security measures that protected it. Jax listened, taking mental notes. The mission was going to be dangerous, but with her it suddenly felt possible. As they planned, a small group of corporate enforcers entered the cantina. Their uniforms were sharp, their eyes scanning the crowd like predators. Jax felt a chill. These weren't ordinary guards. They were part of the elite security forces, trained to capture or eliminate anyone who crossed the corporations. Leora noticed them too. "They're here for someone," she whispered. "Could be us." Jax's hand hovered near his blaster, a sleek pistol designed for rapid response. "Then we better move fast." They slipped out the back door, using maintenance corridors that twisted like a labyrinth through the station. Jax admired Leora's knowledge of the hub. She moved confidently, navigating security cameras, laser gates, and magnetic floors that shifted without warning. Every move she made showed her ingenuity, the very thing the hub's elite scorned. They finally reached a quiet balcony overlooking the swirling clouds of the gas giant below. The city lights reflected off the thin atmosphere, creating streaks of blue and pink in the fog. Leora leaned against the railing, breathing heavily. "You're not bad," she said, half teasing, half serious. Jax chuckled. For a city girl with a pad of schematics and zero patience for cowboys, she laughed. Exactly. For a moment, silence fell between them. Jax realized he hadn't felt this alive in years. There was danger ahead, yes, but also the thrill of working alongside someone who could challenge him. Someone human, brilliant, and unafraid to take risks. Suddenly, alarms blared across the station. Red lights flashed. Jax grabbed Leora's arm. Time to go. They ran through the corridors, dodging guards and automated drones. Leora activated a small device from her belt, creating a temporary holographic decoy. The drones followed the illusion while they slipped into a maintenance hatch. Once inside, Leora caught her breath. "You move fast for a cowboy," she said with a grin. "You move fast for an engineer," Jax replied. Their laughter was cut short as the hatch began to seal. "We're going to need a bigger plan," Leora said. "The tech is locked behind layers of security the corporations don't usually show anyone," Jax nodded. "Then we'll improvise. Humans always do." As they settled in for the night in a hidden corner of the hub, Jax looked at Leora with a new respect. She was more than her reputation, more than the elite dismissed. She was resourceful, clever, and brave. And he had a feeling that if they could survive the next few days, they might just pull off the impossible. Above them, the city of Orbital Hub 12 continued its endless dance of lights and movement, oblivious to the two humans hiding in its shadow. But in the quiet, dangerous corners of the station, a cowboy and an engineer were beginning a partnership that could change everything. For Jax Raynor, it was more than a mission. For Leora, it was more than a challenge. And together, they were about to prove that human creativity, courage, and determination, human curves of ingenuity, could outshine the cold, rigid calculations of the corporations. And as the first stars of the gas giant's night glimmered above, neither of them could guess just how wild this ride would get. The hidden corner of Orbital Hub 12 felt quiet, but Jax and Leora both knew danger never slept in this city. The alarms from last night had faded, but the corporation's security forces would be searching. They had to act fast. Leora spread her holographic schematics across the small table in their makeshift hideout. The glowing blue lines depicted the corporate vault, thick walls, laser grids, automated guards, and a complex AI system controlling every entrance. "This is it," she said, tapping the screen. "The terraforming tech is here, but getting in won't be easy." Jax leaned over studying the plan, his eyes narrowed. "Lots of walls, lots of alarms, lots of ways to get caught." "Exactly," Leora replied. "But humans are unpredictable. AI expects patterns. We're unpredictable. That's our advantage." He grinned. "Sounds like my kind of plan." They needed help. Leora suggested gathering a small team, people who had skills the corporations underestimated. Misfits, rogues, and outcasts. People who used their uniqueness as strength. Jax raised an eyebrow. "We recruiting a circus?" "Not exactly," Leora said, smirking. "Think of it as a crew of specialists who can't be ignored." Over the next few hours, they tracked down the first recruit, Rena, a nimble pilot who could maneuver a ship through asteroid fields faster than any patrol drone. She had a cheeky grin and a sharp tongue. When Jax introduced himself, she just laughed. "You're a cowboy, huh?" she said. "I've flown through more danger than you've had hot meals. You better keep up." Jax tilted his hat. Challenge accepted. Their second recruit was Kian, a tech hacker who could talk to AI like it was a friend. Kian had a calm presence, pale eyes that seemed to see through firewalls, and hands that danced over his console like magic. He looked at Leora's schematics and said simply, "We can do this, but we need to be precise." "Precision and chaos," Jax added. "That's the human way." Finally, they found Torin, a strong ex-security officer familiar with corporate tactics. His experience was invaluable. "I've seen vaults like this," he said, arms crossed. "Most people fail because they underestimate the AI. We won't." With their team assembled, they gathered in the hideout. Leora projected a 3D map of the vault and corridors. "Here's the problem," she said. "The AI monitors everything: cameras, sensors, drones. One mistake and it locks us out or worse." Jax nodded. "So we improvise," Leora smiled. "Yes, and we use what humans do best: creativity." Rena leaned forward. "I can fly us in a stealth pod through the lower service channels. They're narrow, but I've done it before. AI doesn't check there often." Kian tapped his console. "Once inside, I can jam the AI for a few minutes. Not long, maybe 30 seconds. That's all we need to grab the tech and get out." Torin added, "And I'll handle guards. If they appear, I distract, I fight, and I clear the path." Jax looked at Leora. "And you?" She straightened. "I'm the brain. I get us in and out. If anything goes wrong, I improvise solutions on the spot." Jax smirked. "I like it. Brains and brawn, chaos and precision. Classic human style." They spent the night rehearsing, going over every scenario. Leora's devices and quick thinking were the key. She had small gadgets that could hack doors, create temporary decoys, and disable security panels. Every member of the crew had a role, but Leora's ingenuity made them all possible. By sunrise, they were ready, or as ready as anyone could be. Jax looked at the crew, his eyes serious. "Remember, we're not just stealing tech. We're protecting humanity. Don't lose sight of that." Rena nodded. "Got it. Let's move." The group moved through the orbital hub, slipping through maintenance tunnels and shadowed alleys. The city above was alive, neon lights reflecting on metal and glass. Traders shouted over one another, merchants sold exotic goods, and children of various worlds chased small robotic pets. It was a world of chaos, perfect for a crew of humans who thrived in unpredictable situations. As they approached the vault's outer perimeter, Kian's hands flew across his portable console. AI scanners online, cameras at 70% coverage, drones patrolling the second ring. "We're clear for now." Torin muttered, "For now is enough. Let's not waste it." Jax and Leora led the way. Leora tapped a device on the vault wall, creating a temporary blind spot in the sensors. They slipped inside, moving silently. Their hearts pounded. One mistake and alarms would sound. Inside the vault, corridors were narrow, cold, and sterile. The walls gleamed metal and the lights flickered intermittently. Every step echoed. Jax kept one hand near his blaster, but Leora's confidence was steadying. She moved like she owned the space, her mind calculating every possibility. They reached the final chamber. The vault door loomed, thick and imposing. Leora examined the lock system. "AI-controlled, multiple redundancies, but I see a way," she whispered. Kian adjusted his console. "I'll handle the AI. Give me 30 seconds." Leora activated her device. Blue sparks danced over the door's interface as it unlocked slowly. The seconds felt like minutes. Finally, with a hiss, the vault door slid open. Inside, rows of shelves held containers of terraforming tech, compact, advanced, and crucial for humanity's survival. Jax couldn't help but feel awe at the technology. It wasn't just metal and circuits, it was hope. Rena whispered, "Quickly, grab what we can." They worked fast, placing the tech in their secure pods. The AI blinked, detecting unusual activity. Kian's fingers flew, jamming its sensors just long enough. Red warning lights blinked, but the team stayed calm. Torin grunted as he took down a drone that had slipped past the jamming. Jax covered him, taking careful aim, but no one was harmed. This wasn't about violence, it was about skill. With the tech secured, Leora activated another device, a portable decoy that mimicked their presence. The AI was fooled, focusing on the hologram while the crew slipped out through the maintenance hatch. Outside, the hub was calm again. The crew took a moment to breathe, hearts racing but smiles spreading across their faces. They had done it. Against odds, against elite security, human ingenuity had won. Jax turned to Leora. "You really are something. I almost didn't believe it last night," she laughed. "Almost didn't believe you either, Cowboy, but here we are," Rena grinned. "Next time you pick the plan." I'm tired of improvising, Torin shook his head. Impossible to beat humans. Even the best AI can't handle chaos. Kian added, and brains like Leora's make it even better. Jax looked at her, the glow of success reflecting in his eyes. We make a good team. Can't walk away from this one, can I? Leora's smirk matched his. You're not allowed. As the crew made their way back to their hideout, the orbital city continued its endless dance of lights and movement. Above, stars shimmered against the darkness of space. The stolen tech was secure, but the adventure was far from over. Corporations would be searching, and the AI would be learning. But for now, humans had won. Their creativity, courage, and determination had turned the impossible into reality. And in the quiet moments between danger and chaos, bonds formed that no AI could ever understand. Jax Rayner and Leora, the cowboy and the engineer, knew this was only the beginning. Together, they had proven that human ingenuity, human curves of thought, bravery, and heart, could outshine even the most advanced machines. And as the orbital hub's lights faded behind them, the crew prepared for the next challenge, ready to face whatever came next with skill, courage, and a little bit of chaos, the very essence of being human. The orbital hub never truly slept. Even as the artificial night cycled over the city, the neon lights reflected off metal surfaces, casting long, shifting shadows. Jax Rayner and his crew moved quickly, carrying the stolen terraforming tech back to their hideout. Their success so far felt exhilarating, but danger was never far behind. Kian's fingers flew over his portable console, monitoring the security network. They've noticed the breach, he said quietly. AI is recalibrating, and the corporate enforcers are mobilizing. Leora's jaw tightened. We don't have much time. We need to move through the lower transport channels, the ones less traveled by drones and guards. Follow me. The crew followed her through narrow, twisting corridors. These paths were built for maintenance workers, not for escaping thieves, and the air was thick with dust and the smell of ozone. Leora led with confidence, her mind calculating every step. Jax couldn't help but admire her. Every curve of thought she had was a weapon against the hub's strict order. Behind them, distant alarms began to echo, their harsh sound bouncing off metal walls. Red lights flashed as security drones activated and corporate enforcers mobilized. Rena, piloting a small, stealthy hoverpod attached to their cargo, whispered, "I've got a clear path up ahead, but it's tight. If anyone panics, we're toast." Jax smirked. Panic isn't in our human nature. Improvisation is. The team moved carefully, keeping low and using shadows to their advantage. Suddenly, a patrol drone turned a corner, sensors flashing. Torin sprang forward, using a magnetic pulse device to temporarily disable it. Sparks flew as the drone clattered to the ground. "Nice work, Torin," Leora said, "but there's more." The next corridor was long, wide, and exposed. Kian's voice came through the earpiece. "AI is locking sections ahead. You'll have to move fast or it'll trap you." Jax glanced at Leora. "What's the plan, engineer?" She smiled. "We improvise." Leora activated a small gadget from her belt. It projected holographic duplicates of the team, moving in the opposite direction down the corridor. The AI focused on the holograms, analyzing their movement and predicting their path. Meanwhile, the real crew slipped past, hearts racing but silent. Rena navigated the hoverpod with expert skill, squeezing through tight gaps and sharp turns. Jax hung on, boots braced, coat fluttering in the pod's slipstream. For a moment, the thrill of the chase overshadowed the danger. Every twist, every turn, was a test of skill and courage, and humans were excelling. The sound of alarm sirens grew louder. Red lights illuminated the walls as automated security bots moved toward them. Leora tapped her device again. Temporary EMP field should slow them down for a few seconds. A pulse of energy surged through the corridor. Bots froze mid-step, sparks flying from circuits as they powered down. The crew dashed past, hearts pounding, adrenaline sharp in their veins. Then a warning flashed on Kian's console. Incoming drone swarm, they're faster than usual, must be upgraded models. Jax gritted his teeth. We can't outrun them, we have to outsmart them. Leora nodded. Follow my lead. She activated another device, a holographic decoy that appeared ahead of the drone swarm, creating the illusion of multiple targets. The AI controlling the drones calculated the threat and sent them after the decoys. Jax, Leora, and the rest zipped through the hidden side channels, narrowly avoiding detection. For a moment, everything seemed to work. The crew reached a ventilation shaft leading up to the orbital hub's upper levels. It was narrow, barely wide enough for the hoverpod. Rena skillfully piloted the pod into the shaft, the tech cargo balanced precariously. As they emerged from the shaft, the hub's skyline stretched before them, glowing towers, floating platforms, and shuttles weaving between them. The city was alive, chaotic, and beautiful. But danger wasn't far behind. Another patrol spotted them. Red lights flashed across the buildings. Security ships began pursuit. "Hold on," Rena shouted, accelerating the pod. Jax leaned into the controls, helping navigate through floating platforms. Every movement required precision, timing, and trust in one another. Humans thrived in unpredictability, and that was their greatest advantage. Leora pulled a small device from her belt and activated a magnetic pulse that temporarily disrupted the patrol ship's thrusters. They wobbled, collided, and slowed. The crew had bought themselves precious minutes. Torin glanced back. "We're not out yet. They're regrouping." Jax nodded, gripping the edge of the pod. "Then we keep moving. No stopping until we're safe." The chase led them across neon bridges, through narrow alleys between floating buildings, and over magnetic railways. Every corner brought a new challenge: automated traps, laser grids, and patrolling drones. Leora's devices, Rena's piloting, Kian's hacking, and Torin's tactical skill combined seamlessly. The team worked like a single organism, humans in perfect synchrony. At one point, a massive security drone blocked their path. Jax jumped from the hoverpod, landing with a roll and firing a temporary disabling shot at the drone. Sparks flew, and the machine toppled. Leora followed, creating a holographic duplicate to confuse any reinforcements. The rest of the crew passed safely. Finally, they reached a maintenance platform overlooking the gas giant below. The city stretched endlessly behind them, red and blue lights reflecting off the clouds. For a moment, the crew caught their breath. "We made it this far," Leora said, her voice steady but filled with relief. "But the AI will adapt. Next moves have to be perfect." Jax looked at her, admiration in his eyes. "You're amazing. Every curve of thought you have, it's incredible. I've never seen anything like it." She smiled faintly. "And you, Cowboy, never give up. Even in chaos, you find a way." The moment was fleeting. Down below, security ships were regrouping and the AI had recalculated patrol patterns. The chase wasn't over. Jax climbed onto the pod. "We keep moving. We don't stop until we're back at the hideout." Rena accelerated, weaving through the platforms. Torin kept watch for reinforcements, signaling the team when threats appeared. Kian hacked into nearby network nodes, creating temporary blind spots for the AI. Leora's devices provided cover and misdirection, allowing them to stay one step ahead. The chase continued across the orbital hub, faster and more dangerous than anything they had faced before. But humans had an advantage AI could never match: adaptability, intuition, and creativity. At one point, Jax realized they were approaching the outer rim of the hub, where gravity was weaker and platforms floated farther apart. Rena slowed the pod, carefully calculating jumps between platforms. "This is it," she said. "One wrong move and we fall into space." "Then we make the right move," Jax said firmly. "Humans always do." The team jumped from platform to platform, narrowly avoiding gaps and obstacles. Leora's devices provided guidance, highlighting safe paths in the low gravity. Torin kept a steady hand on security drones, disabling any that came too close. Kian monitored the AI, keeping it blind to their movements. Finally, they reached a hidden docking bay near their hideout. It was quiet, secure, and shielded from the AI's surveillance. The crew breathed in relief as they landed the hoverpod safely. "We made it," Leora said, exhaustion in her voice but a proud smile on her face. Against all odds, Jax looked at the crew, his eyes shining. "This is what humans do best. We improvise, we fight, we survive, and we do it together." For a moment, silence fell over them. The orbital hub continued its chaotic dance above, but in their corner the crew felt a sense of triumph. They had stolen the tech, outsmarted the AI, and survived the chase. Leora glanced at Jax. "You know, Cowboy, I almost didn't believe you last night. But now I think you really might be unstoppable," Jax chuckled. "And you, engineer, you're the reason we made it. Your creativity, your quick thinking, your curves of thought saved us more times than I can count." The crew laughed, relieved and energized. But deep down, they all knew this was only the beginning. Corporations would retaliate, the AI would adapt, and the challenges ahead would be even greater. But for now, they were safe. They had proven something important, that human courage, creativity, and teamwork could overcome even the most advanced machines. And as they settled into the hideout, planning their next steps, Jax and Leora shared a look of mutual respect and understanding. One night they had survived the impossible together, and neither of them could walk away, not from the mission, not from the bond they were forming. The stars outside the orbital hub twinkled, indifferent to human struggles, but for the crew, it was a symbol of hope. A reminder that even in the darkest corners of space, human ingenuity shone brighter than any AI or corporate power. The hidden hideout hummed with quiet tension. The crew had survived the harrowing chase across orbital hub 12, but the worst was yet to come. The terraforming tech they had stolen was vital to Earth's survival, and the corporation wouldn't let them keep it without a fight. Jax Rayner paced, boots clicking against the metal floor, while Leora studied her devices, planning the next move. "AI will adapt," Kian said, voice calm but serious. "Every second we wait, it's learning how to counter us. The next step is critical. We either get the tech out of their vault completely or risk losing it." Jax stopped pacing. "Then we go in one last time. We finish this." Leora nodded. "We've prepared, we know the patterns, but this time it won't be just guards or drones. The AI will be ready." Torin tightened his grip on his tactical gear. "We've faced worse odds, humans against machines. We survive by staying one step ahead, using our heads, and never underestimating human creativity." The crew moved out as darkness settled over the hub. From the hidden docking bay, they approached the corporate vault once again, this time with a plan refined by knowledge and experience. The AI's adaptations made the corridors even more dangerous. Laser grids flickered unpredictably, drones patrolled faster, and security doors closed with almost no warning. Rena guided their hoverpod through hidden channels, her hands steady despite the tension. "Everyone ready?" she asked. Jax nodded. "Ready as ever." Leora activated her device, creating a series of holographic decoys that mimicked their movements. The AI would be distracted for a few crucial minutes while the real team advanced. Kian monitored the system, watching the AI attempt to track their holograms. As they reached the vault's outer chamber, Torin signaled for silence. "This is it. No mistakes." Leora tapped her device on the vault door. Sparks of light danced as her gadget interfaced with the AI's lock system. "It's not just a lock, it's multiple redundancies. I can bypass them, but if the AI catches the signal, we'll be trapped." Jax crossed his arms, watching her work. "Then don't get caught." The door's mechanisms hummed and clicked. Blue light shimmered across Leora's hands as she manipulated the system. Kian's fingers danced across his console, jamming the AI's immediate responses. Suddenly, a sharp alarm sounded. The AI had detected the interference. Red lights bathed the vault in a warning glow. "Focus!" Leora shouted. "Almost there." Torin stepped forward, blocking a patrol drone with a magnetic pulse device. Sparks flew, and the drone toppled, giving Leora the extra second she needed. Finally, with a hiss, the vault door slid open. Inside, the terraforming tech waited, compact and gleaming under sterile lights. Jax felt a surge of relief and pride. They had made it this far, but the AI had one final trick. Security bots dropped from hidden panels, forming a perimeter around the vault. Their movements were precise, calculated, and lethal. "Time to improvise," Leora said. She activated her portable decoy devices, projecting multiple versions of the crew around the room. The bots hesitated, analyzing the holograms, unsure which were real. Jax and Torin moved in tandem, clearing paths to the tech, while Rena prepared the hoverpod for extraction. Kian continued hacking, creating temporary blind spots in the AI's surveillance. Every member of the crew was a part of a seamless operation, combining brains, brawn, and human ingenuity. One bot detected movement and lunged at the real Jax. He dodged, flipping over it and triggering a small EMP grenade that temporarily disabled the machine. Sparks rained down and the AI recalculated, now more aggressive. "More drones incoming," Kian shouted. Leora's mind raced. She activated a magnetic pulse field around the vault floor, causing drones to collide and topple over. "We're not just stealing tech," she said. "We're proving humans can outthink machines." Jax grabbed one of the tech containers, securing it in the hoverpod. "Keep moving. We don't have much time." They fought their way through the vault, using a combination of gadgets, tactics, and quick thinking. The AI's calculations were fast, but human unpredictability was faster. Leora directed their every move, her brilliance guiding them through a deadly dance of lasers, drones, and security bots. Finally, with the last container secured, the team reached the exit corridor. The AI had activated lockdown measures, sealing doors and activating floor traps. "Jump!" Jax shouted. He fired a grappling hook across the corridor. Leora, Rena, and Torin followed, swinging across to a safe platform. Kian lagged slightly but made it just in time, aided by Jax's steadying hand. The team reached the hoverpod waiting in a small docking bay. Rena immediately piloted them upward, out of the vault, and into the chaotic streets of Orbital Hub 12. Red warning lights followed them, security ships in pursuit, but the crew's human ingenuity kept them ahead. They used hidden pathways, decoys, and quick improvisation to shake off the AI's patrols. Once they were safely away, hovering above the city on a high platform, the crew caught their breath. Leora wiped sweat from her brow, her face lighting up with a proud smile. "We did it! Against all odds, humans win again." Jax looked at her, admiration in his eyes. "You're incredible. Your thinking, your curves of creativity saved all of us more times than I can count." Leora laughed softly. "And you, Cowboy, never gave up, even when the AI almost had us." Torin nodded. "This is why humans are unstoppable. We adapt, we improvise, we survive. Machines calculate, but humans create solutions on the fly." Kian added, "And brains like Leora's make it even better." For a moment, the orbital hub felt still, despite the chaos surrounding it. The crew had achieved the impossible, outsmarted the AI, retrieved the tech, and survived. But Jax knew the fight wasn't over. Corporations would retaliate. The AI would evolve. Yet in that moment there was a quiet triumph, a reminder of the power of human courage, creativity, and teamwork. He turned to Leora. "One night changed everything, and I can't walk away from this, either the mission or you." Leora smiled, faint blush coloring her cheeks. "You're not allowed, Cowboy." The crew shared a laugh, relief, and joy in their eyes. They had proven that humans could overcome the most advanced machines with courage, creativity, and ingenuity. As the stars shone above the orbital hub, a new bond had formed between the cowboy and the engineer, a partnership forged in danger, trust, and mutual respect. And though the future held more challenges, one thing was certain: humans would never stop surprising the universe. And as the hoverpod carried them towards safety, Jax Rayner and Leora knew that their adventure had only just begun. Together they had faced the impossible, and they would face whatever came next, side by side. The stars above orbital hub 12 shone brightly, casting a cold, silver glow over the floating platforms and neon towers. For Jax Rayner and his crew, the night had been long and dangerous, but at last they were heading toward safety. The stolen terraforming tech, safely secured in the hoverpod, represented hope for Earth, a chance to reverse decades of environmental collapse. The crew was quiet for a moment, catching their breath. Even Rena, normally full of energy and jokes, seemed reflective. Torin leaned against the side of the pod, his eyes scanning the city below, calculating escape routes even now. Kian typed silently on his portable console, ensuring the AI wasn't tracking them. Leora, seated beside Jax, glanced at the cowboy. Her face was still flushed from the adrenaline, her eyes bright with determination and pride. "We did it," she said softly. "Against every calculation, every security measure, every expectation, we succeeded." Jax smiled, tipping his hat slightly. "Humans always do, engineer. That's our strength. We improvise, we create, we survive. Machines may calculate, but humans, we surprise the universe." She laughed, a sound that seemed to echo in the empty expanse of the docking bay. "You make it sound so simple." "Simple?" Jax shook his head. "No, dangerous, yes, impossible, maybe, but simple, no, that's what makes it human." They descended from the orbital hub into the calmer regions of space, a place where trading ships rarely ventured, and the corporation's surveillance was weak. The team had chosen this route to avoid further detection, and it allowed them a few moments to reflect on everything that had happened. Torin broke the silence. "I've been part of security forces, corporations, and private contracts my whole life. I've never seen humans work together like this, coordinated, fearless, and clever. It's impressive." Kian nodded in agreement. "It's more than impressive, it's inspiring, and we've proven that human ingenuity can overcome any system, no matter how advanced." Rena smiled. "Yeah, but next time can we skip the near-death chases? My nerves are shot," Jax chuckled. "No promises, that's the life of humans who choose to act, not hide." Despite the adrenaline and exhaustion, there was a sense of triumph among them. They had not only survived, they had thrived in chaos, using brains, courage, and creativity to turn the impossible into reality. As they approached a hidden base on a small, neutral station, Jax and Leora prepared the tech for secure storage. Leora's devices ensured it would remain hidden until Earth could recover it safely. Every container was double-checked, every system verified. Finally, the last crate was secured. Leora let out a breath, leaning against the hoverpod. "That's it, safe for now. Earth can breathe a little easier." Jack stepped closer to her, placing a hand on her shoulder. "We couldn't have done it without you. Your ideas, your courage, your curves of creativity saved us more times than I can count." She looked up at him, a faint blush coloring her cheeks. "And you, cowboy, you never gave up. Even when everything seemed impossible, you kept moving forward." Jack smiled. "Humans don't give up, and some humans I just can't walk away from." Her eyes widened slightly, understanding what he meant. "You mean?" "I mean you," he said simply. "Not just the mission. You, I can't walk away, Leora, from this, from us. We're a team, and teams stick together." Leora smiled, a mix of pride, relief, and something deeper shining in her eyes. "Then I guess we're stuck with each other, cowboy." They laughed softly, a quiet moment of joy amid the danger-filled nights. For once, they allowed themselves to savor the triumph of human courage, ingenuity, and connection. The rest of the crew shared their own sense of accomplishment. Torin clapped Jax on the back. "I'll admit it, you humans are remarkable. I've seen many fights, but this was different. Not just skill, but heart," Kian grinned. "And brains, don't forget brains." Rena rolled her eyes but smiled. "Fine, I admit it. Humans are amazing, but next time let's try to survive without the near-death stuff, okay?" The team laughed together, a shared moment of camaraderie and relief. They had risked everything and proven that human creativity, courage, and adaptability could overcome even the most advanced machines. Later, as the crew settled into the base, Jax and Leora walked to the observation deck. Below them, stars stretched endlessly and the faint glow of distant planets shimmered. "You know," Leora said softly, "we didn't just survive. We showed that humans are special. That we can face impossible odds and still come out on top." Jax nodded. "Exactly. That's what being human is all about. We fight, we think, we adapt. And we don't give up no matter what." She looked at him, a smile in her eyes. "And some humans you just can't walk away from." Jax's smile matched hers. "Then I guess I'm staying." They stood together in silence for a moment, letting the calm and the stars wash over them. The orbital hub was far behind now, and Earth's hope rested securely in their hands. They had faced danger, chaos, and an AI designed to outthink humans, and yet they had succeeded. Not through brute force, not through luck, but through ingenuity, courage, and teamwork. Leora's voice broke the quiet. "What now?" Jax tilted his hat, looking out into the vastness of space. "Now, we plan the next adventure. Humans don't stop, and we don't walk away from challenges or from people worth fighting for." She laughed softly. "Good, because I'm not letting you go either, Cowboy." The stars twinkled in silent approval, as if acknowledging the triumph of human spirit. And in that moment, Jax and Leora, the cowboy and the engineer, felt a bond stronger than fear, stronger than danger, stronger than any machine. Together they had shown that humans could outthink, outmaneuver, and outlast even the most advanced technology. Together, they had proven that courage, creativity, and determination, human ingenuity in its finest form, could overcome anything. And together, they were unstoppable. Jax took Leora's hand, the first true gesture of connection between them amid the chaos of missions and danger. "We did it," he said quietly. "We did," she replied, squeezing his hand. "And we'll keep doing it, together." As they watched the stars, the team knew that while the fight for Earth and survival was far from over, they had proven something essential. Humans are extraordinary. Creative, brave, unpredictable. And when they stand together, nothing, no machine, no corporation, no impossible odds can stop them. Jax Rayner and Leora smiled at each other, hearts steady despite exhaustion. The night was ending, but their story was only beginning. One night they had faced the impossible, and neither could walk away from the other. In the distance, Orbital Hub 12 twinkled like a jewel against the darkness of space. But for the crew, for Jax and Leora, the universe felt infinite with possibilities. Adventure, danger, and hope awaited, but humans, especially clever, brave, determined humans, would always rise to meet it. The cowboy couldn't walk away. The engineer wouldn't let him. And together, humanity had won again.